I'm going to read this one tonight.
Last time, then tomorrow,
Then tomorrow,
we will read when Jenny lost her scarf.
Now this is the last time I'm reading this tonight, though. Jenny's first party. So, since we've actually got the room to record this time, Jenny and the Cat Club by Esther Averill. A collection of favorite stories about Jenny Linskey. This is our second video, and it uses our second recording. And it does the second story in the book, Jenny's First Party.
Jenny's first party. I can see the pictures.
You need to give me a minute. Remember, don't try to turn the pages. The book is falling apart, dear. Now, what are some words that we're going to run into that mean something different now?
Gay.
When this book was written, what did it mean? Queer. Queer. Whenever they're talking about that in this book, it means cheerful. And whenever they say gay, it means happy.
Gay and queer.
Now, Jenny's first party. For AK. See Jenny?
Yeah, what's AK? Who's AK?
That's the person that they're dedicating the story to. One summer night, the little black cat, Jenny Linskey, climbed over the tall board fence at the end of the garden behind her home, crept through a private passage, and came out on the street. Jenny walked up the street until she came to Hook and Ladder Company, number 7X, of the New York City Fire Department. Woohoo! Pickles! She called softly from the sidewalk. Pickles, the big spotted yellow cat, who was the mascot of the company, was upstairs, playing checkers with the firemen. When he heard the woohoo, he put on his fireman's helmet, slid down the fireman's pole, walked around the hook and ladder for good luck, and went out to Jenny. He turned his big spotted yellow face towards the sky. Oops. We skipped a page.
Yeah.
So, and then he went out to Jenny. Hi, Jenny, said Pickles. What's doing? Where's Captain Tinker? Pickles was referring to Jenny's friend and master, the old sea captain, Captain Tinker, in whose house she lived. Captain Tinker has gone out, said Jenny. He went out for supper. What about the cat club? Pickles asked, referring to the cat club that met each night in Captain Tinker's garden. Something happened, Jenny said. Mr. President said he told us we can't meet again until it gets straightened out. So you came here, said Pickles, with a note of kindness in his queer, rough voice, his cheerful, rough voice. So you came here to see your old friend Pickles? Yes, Pickles, I was lonely, Jenny said. Then she added shyly, Pickles, let's go somewhere. Let's have some fun. I haven't any money for a party, Pickles said. I'm broke. Have you any money? No, said Jenny. I'm broke too. Jenny poked her paw in a crack in the sidewalk, as if she hoped to find a penny. When no coin appeared, she said, Captain Tinker says that money isn't everything. I'm not so sure, said Pickles. He turned his big, spotted yellow face towards the sky to find out about the weather. The night was crystal clear. Up high, the moon was swimming like a great liquid silver dollar. As for the stars, Pickles felt like he could touch them if he held out his paw. All right, he said to Jenny. Let's get going. You lead the way. Me lead? Gulped Jenny. She was just a small black cat and very shy. She had never been the leader. Tell me where you want to go, said Pickles briskly. Let's go and get Florio, said Jenny. Florio lived around the corner. He was a young, golden-haired cat who was as handsome as a prince. Best of all, he was gentle in his ways and very gay, very cheerful. Florio was lying upstairs on a satin cushion when he heard the soft woohoo. He stood up, pulling back the window curtain, and gave a silent signal. A few minutes later, Florio came out. He had to wait and slip out secretly. His mistress would have died of fright if she had known that he was out on the sidewalks of New York. When Florio realized that Pickles was wearing his fireman's helmet and that Jenny had on a red scarf that her master Captain Tinker had knitted, he borrowed an Indian feathered headdress from the doorman.
Why? Why is it?
I don't know.
Why is the Indian straight?
Why is that not okay? Well, because it actually means something in culture, and I'll explain it when you're a little older, okay? Yeah, we already talked about this. We don't just... I'll explain it whenever you're older, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, said Florio, as he joined his two friends on the sidewalk. Are we going to have a party? Not unless you have some money, Pickles answered. I haven't any money, said the golden-haired cat. I'm broke. Pickles sighed. But Jenny said, it would be fun to have some fun. Florio looked at Jenny. Where would you like to go? He asked. Oh, anywhere, said Jenny. Pickles said to her, name one idea. Jenny thought a moment. She tried to think what a master, Captain Tinker, would do in such a situation. Certainly he would do something, Jenny told herself. He would think up games or have a catnip hunt or something. A bright idea flashed through her mind. Let's find a doorway and a secret passage, she cried. It might lead to an enchanted palace. And to hidden treasures, Pickle cried. And Indians, cried Florio.
Indians?
I'll explain another time. He's talking about Native Americans, but he's talking about... Okay, sometimes kids used to look for... A lot of people died whenever the settlers came to America, and most of those people died because they got sick. So there used to be a lot of empty villages places, and it sort of became a tradition for kids to go looking and see if they could find anyone. So sometimes, eventually it would just, sometimes you like to explore, see different things in the yard. It's like that. Just different. And Indians is actually kind of offensive to actual Native Americans. Yeah. This book is older than my grandpa. Yeah.
How old is your grandpa?
He's over 80 years old.
80?
Hmm?
And that book is 90?
This book is older than him. Let's just go with that. All right. And Indians, cried Florio. So he wanted to find the people who had been here before. Sometimes that's an adventure too. It's like how I like to study history, except, the way that he says it isn't how people say it anymore, because that now means something different.
What does that say?
Good eats. It's written in cursive. See? Goodeats.
I can't.
It's written very small. They started down the street, Jenny with her bright red scarf, Pickles with his fireman's helmet, and Florio with his Indian feathered headdress. They walked on many streets, but all the streets were lighted with electric lights and all the doors were locked. After a while, Pickles was ready to go home. Even Florio was growing discouraged, but Jenny was having a wonderful time. She had never been on the streets at night. Oh, please, she begged. Let's just go a little farther. So they went a little farther, choosing streets that were darker and more filled with mystery and moonlight. All of a sudden, Jenny said, "Do you hear what I hear?" They listened. They looked down a small side street that had no light but the moonlight. Over the rooftops rose the laughter of many cats. "It sounds like a party," said Pickles, and he straightened his fireman's helmet. Florio straightened his Indian feathered headdress and said, "Yes, perhaps we'll have a party after all." But the little black cat, Jenny Linskey, did not say anything. She was too excited. She had never been to a party. After a moment, Pickles said, "You two wait here. I'll go and scout."
Yeah.
Pickles disappeared down the dark street, came back shortly and said, "I found the gate." Then he led his two friends to a wooden gate that was open just wide enough to let a cat slip through. One by one, they did slip through, and in the moonlight, in a big deserted yard, they saw what they were looking for, a party just for cats. There were striped cats and yellow cats and white and gray and speckled cats. All of them were dancing in the silver moonlight. How their legs flashed, how their whiskers. Yes, whiskers. How their legs flashed, how their whiskers glittered. Just getting tongue-tied now. In the center of the party was a fluffy cat who danced the tumbarumba. "The fluffy one must be Alice Featherlegs," whispered Florio to Pickles. Pickles whispered, "You're right. It is Alice. Alice Featherlegs." Jenny had never seen her before, but she had heard of Alice. What cat had not heard of Alice Featherlegs, who was famous for her beauty and the way she danced the tumbarumba? Before long, Alice Featherlegs caught sight of the three new arrivals. She ran over to them, and her soft fur made a rustling sound as she drew near. How elegant and full of grace she seemed! Jenny could not take her eyes away from her. But Alice did not even glance at Jenny. Alice looked only at Florio and Pickles. She acted just as if she had never spoken to little cats. Alice's behavior made poor Jenny feel extremely small and plain. Jenny could hear the fluffy creature say to the two bigger cats, "How wonderful of you to come. I think we may have met before, but anyway, will you join our party?" "We should like to very much," said Pickles, bowing like a fireman. Then Pickles said, "Miss Featherlegs, may I present our friend Jenny Linskey?" Alice answered in a far-off voice, "My, what a pretty little cat. But isn't she too young to dance the tumbarumba?" Jenny wanted to say, "I don't know how to dance, but I think I could learn." Try as she would, Jenny could not make the words come out, and before she knew what had happened, she was sitting on the top of an upturned basket. "This is just the place for Jenny," Alice said to Pickles and Florio. "She can watch us dance, and she can take a nap." "Take a nap? What a horrible thing to say to a little black cat at her first party." Jenny sat absolutely still and held back her tears. Florio, whose light paws tingled with the music, said to Jenny, "Please don't worry. We'll only dance once." And Pickles said to her, "That's true. Then we'll come right back to you." Jenny watched her two best friends go off with Alice Featherlegs. Immediately they were the center of the party. Time was nothing to them. Time is nothing to a cat when he is dancing. Pickles and Florio danced on and on. Now and then they glanced at Jenny to make sure that she was safe. They could see her sitting safely on the basket, but they could not see that she was lonely.
She has Featherlegs.
Jenny had never felt so sad in all her life. She began to wish that she were at home with her dear master, Captain Tinker. She wished that she were sitting on the captain's lap. The captain knew how to comfort her. He always told her that her troubles could be straightened out. Right now it seemed that she could almost hear the captain's voice. It seemed to her that he was saying, "Jenny, dear, don't sit there feeling sorry for yourself. Get up and do something. Get up and dance." I don't know how to dance the tumbarumba, answered Jenny. And the captain said, Then dance the dance I taught you. The captain meant the old-time sailor's dance, the sailor's hornpipe.
The sailor's hornpipe? I want to try the sailor's hornpipe.
Although Jenny had danced the sailor's hornpipe once or twice at home, she had never danced it in public. So she climbed down to practice behind the basket. She wanted to make sure that she knew all the steps before she danced it in front of Alice Featherlegs. Jenny stood up on her left hind leg and twirled around. She waved her left front paw above her head and softly gave the sailor's cry, Hi-ho! Then she skipped gracefully and twirled around on her right hind leg, and once again she called, Hi-ho! Hi-ho! That's the way to dance the hornpipe, Jenny thought. She was surprised to find that she could dance it very well, and she went on practicing it behind the basket out of sight. When Pickles happened to look over to make sure that Jenny was all right, Jenny was nowhere to be seen. All that could be seen was one black front paw appearing from behind the basket and then disappearing. In a second, another front paw rose and flapped and disappeared. Pickles was terrified. Jenny is drowning, he cried. He left Alice Featherlegs and rushed off to rescue Jenny. Florio ran after him, but when they looked behind the basket, there was no water. Jenny was not drowning. Jenny was on dry ground dancing the sailor's hornpipe. You want to try and read that?
Jenny was on dry ground dancing the sailor's hornpipe.
Very good. Well, well, said Pickles, with a note of admiration in his queer, rough voice. His cheerful, kind, maybe, rough voice. It means a sort of... It's not a word used anymore. Let's just cover that. And Florio cried, Oh, Jenny, will you dance with me? Pickles wanted to dance with Jenny, too. So Jenny said she would dance with both together, and they led her out into the moonlit yard. How proud she was to teach them how to dance the sailor's hornpipe.
The sailor's hornpipe.
The three friends were soon dancing so beautifully that all the other cats rushed over to them, all but Alice.
Alice was left alone.
Yep, Alice was left alone in the middle of the yard. After a while, she grew tired of being by herself. She joined the others, and several of her old friends taught her how to dance the sailor's hornpipe. But she could not dance it half so well as Jenny. Jenny led the dancers. Oh, what fun they had! Their cries, Hi-ho! Hi-ho! Rose high above the rooftops and drifted towards the moon. You want to try that one?
Jenny leads the dancers of what fun they had. Their
cries.
Their cries, Hi-ho! Hi-ho!
Rose
high above the rooftops and drifted toward the moon.
Very good.
I was about to say moonlight.
Make sure that you read it.
I was.
All right, so Jenny led the dancers. Oh, what fun they had. The cries, Hi-ho! Hi-ho! Rose high above the rooftops and drifted towards the moon. Jenny danced until the early hours of the morning. Then her small black paws grew weary. Pickles said to Florio, It's time to go. The three cats thanked the others for the lovely party. Florio said to them, We'll have to have another party soon. And Jenny said, I'll give the party at my house. All of you must come. Hi-ho! We'll come! Cried all the cats, all but Alice Featherlegs. Jenny looked at Alice. Alice, you must come too, said Jenny. My master, Captain Tinker, will be nice to you. Jenny, Florio, and Pickles pattered down the street towards home. Stop it. At Jenny's house, they sighed happily and parted.
I want to read this part.
What? No. We're going to finish. Jenny called through the window, and her master, Captain Tinker, had left See, I'm getting all tongue-tied, honey. I've been reading too much. Jenny crawled through the window that her master, Captain Tinker, had left open for her. She went upstairs and sleepily rattled the doorknob of the captain's bedroom door. The captain heard her and got out of bed and led her into the room. He took her in his arms and stroked her gently and untied her bright red scarf. "Oh, Captain, we went dancing," Jenny murmured, "and I could dance forever." The captain looked at her and smiled. Jenny had fallen asleep.
That was when Jenny lost her scarf.
Yeah, we'll do that one next time, all right? When Jenny lost her scarf.
I wonder what it's about.
Oh, I know what it's about. I read this story maybe 100 times growing up. But actually, I read all of these probably 100 times growing up. Many, many times. But see, whenever I was a kid, some of these changes were just happening. So, remember we went over this yesterday? Some of these stories were reprinted many times.
And look at. Mama,
I told you about touching the pages.
look at this.
Honey, I know you want to touch these. You can point, but don't touch.
Mama.
See? It says that... What's one of the dates in here? 1944?
1944
But this book
was made in the 1975s.
Yep. So this book, this print, this exact book, was made in 1975. So that's not 90 years ago, is it?
No, it's more than 90s.
No, it's not.
I mean, that's less than 90. Mama,
That's probably only between 30 and 40 years ago. No.
I saw Jenny's skate.
Yep, I saw Jenny's skate too. It's on the emblem. Now, I do believe that it is time.
It's past my bedtime.
It is time, as the song goes, for good little fireflies to go to bed. And since I read the story twice, only one song. What song do you want?
And the stars twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
It was on the recording. It's on the recording. The song is on the recording too.
I guess I forgot to stop the recording. Do you want to do the honors?
What?
Do you want to do the honors?
What's the honors?
Do you want to press stop?
Yes.